The courtroom fell silent in shock. Every eye was locked on the black teenager standing before the judge, her calm demeanor a stark contrast to the ridicule that had been thrown at her just moments ago. Judge Patterson, infamous for his sharp tongue and condescending manner, had spent the past 20 minutes berating her, openly mocking her for daring to represent herself in such a serious case. "You think you can deceive this court?" he had sneered, his laughter ringing through the room. "A child playing dress-up as a lawyer? This is a courtroom, young lady, not some school play." But then she spoke. Her voice, steady and unwavering, cut through the tension as she methodically dismantled the prosecution's case. Her mastery of legal precedent and razor-sharp arguments left not only the judge, but the seasoned attorneys in the room utterly speechless. Gasps rippled through the audience as realization set in. This was no ordinary defendant. The judge's smug expression shifted, confusion creeping into his features, his arrogance beginning to waver. "I object," one of the prosecutors interrupted, his face red with frustration. "Your Honor, I have reason to believe that this individual is not who she claims to be." The teenager turned her piercing gaze toward him, a faint smile playing on her lips. "Your Honor, I can provide my credentials if necessary, but rest assured, every word I've spoken is legally sound. Shall we proceed?" Judge Patterson's face darkened, turning a deep shade of crimson. His voice wavered as he demanded, "Who are you?" Reaching into her satchel, the girl pulled out a pristine document and handed it to the bailiff. The paper made its way up to the judge's bench, and as his eyes scanned the words, his hands trembled. His mouth opened, then closed. No words came out. The audience held its breath. Now, let's go back to where it all began. This story started in the quiet suburbs of Chicago, where 17-year-old Maya Brooks lived with her grandmother, Clara. Maya was far from an ordinary teenager. A child prodigy, she had been reading law books for fun at just 7 years old and debating college students by the time she was 12. But despite her brilliance, she preferred to keep a low profile, uninterested in the attention her intelligence often attracted. Her grandmother, a retired schoolteacher, had always reminded her of the importance of humility and of using her gifts for good. One day, while helping her grandmother carry groceries, Maya overheard a conversation in the corner store. A local single mother, Teresa, was in tears as she spoke to the cashier. "My landlord is evicting me and my 2 kids," she sobbed. "I have nowhere else to go. I swear, I've paid every cent on time, but he says I violated the lease. I didn't. I swear I didn't." Maya's heart sank. After the conversation ended, she approached Teresa. "What happened?" she asked gently. Wiping her tears, Teresa explained that her landlord accused her of housing too many people in her apartment. "But it's just me and my babies," she insisted. "He's lying because he wants to raise the rent for someone else." Maya's mind raced. "Do you have copies of your payments and lease agreement?" she asked. Teresa nodded. "Yes, I have everything at home in a folder." A spark of determination flared in Maya's eyes. "Let me help you," she said firmly. "I think you have a case." Teresa looked at her, stunned. "But you're just a kid." Maya smiled. "I've heard that before. Trust me." Over the next few days, Maya pored over Teresa's documents. The landlord's claims were riddled with inconsistencies. Without hesitation, she drafted a formal letter demanding that the eviction be halted, warning that legal action would follow if he didn't comply. When the landlord ignored her, she helped Teresa file a case in small claims court. Word spread fast. The quiet teenager who always had her nose buried in books was suddenly at the center of a fight for justice. Local reporters caught wind of the story. Soon, Maya's involvement became the headline of every small-town news outlet. But not everyone was impressed. Some doubted her qualifications. Others mocked the idea of a teenager tackling such a serious legal matter. As the court date approached, Teresa grew more and more anxious. "What if we lose?" she whispered one evening. "I don't have money for a lawyer." Maya placed a reassuring hand on hers. "You won't need one." But deep down, she knew what was at stake. This case wasn't just about Teresa. It was about proving that age or skin color didn't define ability. It was about standing up to injustice. The courtroom was packed on the day of the hearing. Spectators, reporters, and even a few attorneys had gathered, curious to see the so-called child attorney in action. Dressed in a simple navy blazer and skirt, Maya walked in with a quiet confidence that far outweighed her years. But the moment she stepped forward, Judge Patterson cut her off. "And who exactly are you supposed to be?" he asked, his tone dripping with condescension. "I'm representing the plaintiff, Your Honor," Maya replied smoothly. The judge chuckled, shaking his head. "You must be joking. Is this some kind of prank?" The room filled with whispers and stifled laughter. Maya didn't flinch. Judge Patterson continued his ridicule, questioning her credibility, making snide remarks about how kids these days didn't understand the weight of the law. Maya took it all in, saying nothing. She waited. And when her moment finally arrived, she spoke, presenting her case with precision and clarity. She cited legal precedents, exposed the landlord's lies, and with every word, the laughter in the room faded. The silence that followed was deafening. But the moment that left everyone truly stunned was when she revealed who she really was. Maya Brooks, a certified legal prodigy who had secretly passed the bar exam at just 16. The courtroom erupted into chaos. Judge Patterson slammed his gavel against the bench. And just as Maya stood tall, ready to deliver the final blow to the prosecution's flimsy case, the judge leaned forward, his face pale. "This court is adjourned for a 10-minute recess," he stammered, clearly needing time to process what had just unfolded. Maya's eyes followed him as he retreated to his chambers. A small smile crept across her lips. This was just the beginning.